Let's learn about large language model tokenizers, focusing on implementing this paper, SuperBPE, and how Anthropic recently changed their tokenizer to make their latest Opus model smarter, more intelligent. So I will assume that you know the basics. BPE is just byte pair encoding is splitting the words into subword tokens. So if you have by and then empty space, this is empty space or a space, the way, comma, I am, etc. So this is one way. And then another method that SuperBPE is gonna do, it's gonna actually allow the tokenizer to group across spaces and between words. So the idea here, and by understanding SuperBPE, we will understand like general thinking. So previously people thought that space is like a natural separation of meaning. If you have two different words, this word means something, this word means something, so we let AI learn what this word means, what this word means. But here realization is that maybe multiple words together can have a single meaning together, like by the way and I am. By the way, you can access full reproduction, including the large language model, in the repository that I'm gonna leave below, so you have the large language model and reproduction here as well. And so I reproduced the claims from the paper, and we will understand them and how to generally reproduce claims and do research if you are interested in that as well. So there is a trade-off between having more tokens in the vocabulary and less tokens in the vocabulary. So if you have less tokens, then this entire thing gets just processed in one forward pass through the LLM, or transformer I should say. And it means less compute, less forward passes, less compute, more efficient. However, if you have more tokens, then each gets its own compute. So it's like putting more compute into the same text. So imagine you have some math and coding tasks. You're gonna put more compute basically in processing tokens in processing, so you get like more reasoning, more processing. So this is the trade-off. You want efficiency or you want reasoning, logic, intelligence processing. Anthropic just changed their tokenizer. I'm gonna talk about this later, but they actually increased the number of tokens they have in the vocabulary to put more reasoning power into their models. So it's more expensive to run and has more reasoning. By the way, on Sunday in School Live, we will code an LLM from one prompt and then set up auto research by DeepSeek's researchers, his side project that lets you do autonomous AI research. You can learn to become AI researcher in this community. First of all, why do tokenizers refuse to merge across spaces? So this is because of the pre-tokenization part. So in the beginning, we can do pre-processing, pre-tokenization before applying tokenizers. So it's just like regex and simple rules. So it's just some Python script that's gonna split the words, because the assumption is that different words, like the space is the natural barrier between words. So pre-tokenization step runs first and chops text on white space. BPE then merges inside each chunk only, between the white inside. So merge can never happen across white space because it's already split before. SuperBPE is gonna keep BPE almost the same. It's just gonna lift this restriction or rule partway through the training. So it's gonna start the same as BP and later it's gonna lift this rule, so it's gonna allow words that are, or sub-words that are frequently together to get merged into a single token with white space. The idea is that phrases like by accident, of course, in the long run are fixed expressions, and they should be learned as a single expression, single meaning. So SuperBPE has two phases. The first one is just subwords, which is same as the BPE, and then phase 2 is the pre-tokenizer is off, so it can merge subwords or tokens across spaces. So if you actually don't use pre-tokenizer ever, it's called naive BPE. It's actually worse than the BPE. and SuperBPE is gonna subword then superwords. So the transition point paper uses is somewhere between 180,000 and 200,000 vocabulary. So before this you just use BPE. When you reach this amount of tokens in the vocabulary, you turn on the SuperBPE, merging across spaces. Here you can see how many bytes of information or bytes we encode per single token. Now, more bytes per token, more information into single token doesn't necessarily mean it's better, it means it's more efficient. But there is a trade-off, as I explained. Here it seems like I got that naive is a little bit more bytes per token than the pure BP. I would expect naive to be less, but maybe I'm not sure here. So, but these are the experiment results, and then SuperBPE has the most. It can be implemented in just 250 lines of Python. I have my own GitHub, and there is also GitHub from the official. So actually, the more vocabulary you have, the bigger improvement of SuperBPE in terms of encoding how many bytes per token. In this image from the paper, you can see that different vocabulary sizes is gonna encode more and more bytes per token. So my experiments were kind of correct, it seems, because they align with this, because here without pre-tokenizer it also encodes more bytes per token. So my experiment results, I see now that they are not weird. So I reproduced the figure 1 from the paper. So the main idea there is that BP is gonna plateau at certain bytes per token, while SuperBPE keeps finding things to merge. Now this should again be used with caution. You need to know what you're trading processing for efficiency. Now here it's important. What's critical is that the SuperBPE merges actual tokens that have meaning. So by the way, it should merge those words, and then you get a single unit of meaning. So it's important that it works this way. That's the point of tokenization, to separate meaning units. So once BPE saturates all of the useful whole word tokens, it starts adding rare junk subwords, and this is degraded vocabulary. But SuperBPE keeps finding more good, for example, as well as in the long run, etc. So here are the two opposite bets on the same dial. So SuperBPE, you get fewer tokens generated, so more tokens in the vocabulary, fewer tokens generated. So you get in more text for the context window, you get cheaper inference, longer memory, but less compute per word. So this means like less reasoning in math and coding. And it may connect digits or code too much with each other. So Claude Opus 4.7 has this more tokens added, so they maybe continued pre-training or fine-tuned it. It has almost 1.5 more tokens in the output, depending on maybe if you use it for math or coding and stuff. So it's tied to tighter instruction following and character tool precision. So you need to know how to swap in the tokenizer, because the embedding table is based on the old tokens. So initializing new tokens in a smart way from previous tokens, somehow combining some similar tokens or something, and then you need to heal that it's continue pre-training on some text to learn. So after the swap, you might have a bit of a dip in the performance. Now this may completely crash or just dip a little bit, and then it's gonna recover and win over the old tokenizer. So in my experiments in the repository, I reproduced the tokenization. I did not reproduce training the model on MMLU. Maybe I'll look into this later, but I need like more compute and stuff. So for maybe later papers in a half a year or something, we're gonna also maybe train the models and stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm also trying to figure out which direction we want to go with research. Do I want to have like a research lab or something? Join the Sunday live to build an LLM and auto research. Check below the video and see you in the next one.